What up, everybody out there in podcast land? Thank you for tuning in yet again to another episode of Kane and Ross Present, the Yeah I Said It podcast. We're expressing our full capabilities. So they might want us in correctional facilities, brainchild or my child. I am the dad half of this operation with the best baby beard in podcasting, Ross Cooper, coming to you live and in public, if you will. A little agitated if you can't tell already, but we gonna get into it. But first things first, as always, I'm rocking with the best. My co-host, please introduce yourself to the folk and explain the shirt, the rather cool shirt.
Watching the world go to hell, so I'm laughing, saying it's perfect. Yeah, what's good, everybody? Everybody's having a good day, month, year, hour, second, all that good stuff. Watching all the platforms, appreciate your friends, family, enemies, bug on the wall, aliens outside. Hopefully, aliens come take this motherfucker away. But yeah, and if you're watching on the tube, please like, share, comment, subscribe, because if you don't, you're gonna be in America for the next 4 years. It's a joke, that's not a joke. But what did my shirt say? Oh, uh. There's nothing wrong with black people that ending racism can't fix. That's what it says.
Boom. Boom. So my fellow Americans and people abroad, for those who watch this show, listen to this show that are not within the United States, I know I can only imagine what you all are thinking right now. Um, I can only tell you it is a as big as a pot of steaming crap as it appears. More executive orders from the Don Dada, the Mango Menace, the Cheeto Captain Cheeto himself, Cheeto in chief. Yeah, lots happened, and this guy's only been in office officially. I mean, we didn't even made it to we are past inauguration. My bad, but yeah, inauguration was a week ago, and here we are already just watching things fall by the wayside. Um, it is very tempting to this is what you wanted, right? It's very tempting. I've seen clips of people of Latin descent who before were Trump supporters, now crying like, wait, what's going on as their loved ones are being deported. It is very tempting to what this is literally what was said was going to happen. It's very tempting to do that. Like what did you this literally was what was going to happen. Um I had an epiphany and I'll start. I won't ramble. I have an epiphany. I'll go back to where we're going, but I'm just curious what you think. Here's my epiphany because my natural curious mind says, how could this happen? How could we get here? Right. What I've realized is white people, white supremacists, and just for clarity, you don't have to have on the white hood. You don't have to throw up the Nazi salute. Hey, Elon. To be to believe in white supremacist principles, right? But the epiphany is there are people who are willing to suffer a little as long as they're undesirables, that they've been convinced they're undesirables, suffer a lot. What does that mean in real time? A lot of rural whites, a lot of economically disadvantaged whites are absolutely okay suffering some if it means the Mexicans get kicked out, if it means the ICE raids gets all the illegals, if it means, you know, nobody would, as someone actually in Congress has said, no one with balls in stalls. So they're okay
Okay, but
suffering a little if the undesirables suffer a lot. It's warped to me. But that's the epiphany I had because how my brain works, I need to make sense of the stupid, which almost is an oxymoron in of itself. But I need to make sense of stupid so I can at least function on a day-to-day basis. Because this is stupid. So I gotta ask myself, why would this happen? But I just realized it. Yeah. If you buy in to what Trump is selling, You're okay suffering a little because you believe the undesirables will suffer a lot. I'll pause it there. Your thoughts, sir?
A lie. That whole statement is everyone is going to suffer, including them. That's the funny part. And the sad, well, it's not sad, it's just all funny. Like, yeah, you think you're going to suffer a little? Yeah, they get rid of all them and everything goes up. Who's going to suffer more? Y'all, like, we're all suffering. Like, that's like your whiteness does not save you from being poor, obviously. It's that you can be white, cool. You don't have to worry about certain things that everybody else do, but you still poor. And you know what's worse than us, than all the other groups of people? You know what the elite white people look down on worse is that you white and you still poor. You got every advantage to your table. How you still poor? So
And
they
maybe that's
even discuss like you are embarrassment to my race. So like, what are we doing? Why are y'all riding in nutsack so much? It's all right. They'll learn. No, actually, no, they won't. But I'm gonna enjoy their suffering too. We all gonna suffer together. Let's get it.
I mean, it's I know people that work in different branches of government. I got a buddy that works in the DOD. So just for compare and contrast, because you know things personally, right? Not just what you read in headlines, you know things personally, and it's a different level. So my buddy that works in DOD, they're okay. They are not being asked to come back to the office. None of that. Their salaries are secure. They're okay. My other buddy that does not work in DOD, it's a different matter. They have to go back to the office. They're seeing a lot of things happen firsthand, first row. It's a lot of wailing and gnashing of teeth, to be biblical for a moment. I find that interesting on a lot of levels. One, so the Department of Defense, the department that's responsible for blowing things up and killing people as we see fit, they're good. No one's crying about that, right? If you're not in the DOD, well, it's a new day. And there are people who have gotten letters that they're going to be RIF reduction in force. They're losing their jobs. Um, I I think I don't know if we mentioned this last pot, but I think it bears repeating. I have been insanely incorrect. I thought what we're witnessing is, hey, this is what happens if Rome decided not to die, not to go quietly into the light. No, I've been sadly mistaken. This is we've seen this movie in the 30s, in the 1930s. This is what Nazi Germany came to fruition with. You know, just a lot of stuff. We'll dive right in. First off, the non-Nazi salute. I don't know what's funnier, Elon Musk doing a Nazi salute, or everyone else defending it. No, he was giving his heart to the crowd. That was just weird stuff. Did we touch that last week or no? I don't remember if it happened last week. So that's the thing. So much has happened. It is hard to keep track.
I stopped paying attention. Not gonna lie to you.
I just how do you confuse? So two things that have been very weird to me. This guy gives a Nazi salute, and there's a bevy of people to defend him. Dog, let me help. Let me. Come here, white people. Come here, a little close. A little close. He's a multi-billionaire who's sitting at the right hand of Donald Trump. He doesn't need your defense.
And he's
It's
not
okay.
American too. So we
On
just
which also look, unpopular opinion time. Y'all got duped. It's about America. It's about American jobs. It's about America. America. Let's get rid of all the illegals. And now you going as far to try to repeal the 14th Amendment, which guarantees citizenship to those born here. Listen, I know you want to duck and try not to say this isn't a white power thing, but what is Elon besides rich and white? and literally came up in apartheid South Africa. You know, apartheid, dangerously similar to racism in America. You remember that, right? Gotta remember that. So let's call a spade, shall we, white people? This isn't about America. This is about white power. You know what else was about white power? Oh, Nazi Germany. Funny how this is a recurring theme. Uh, You know, not to be ridiculously controversial here, not to incite or encourage violence, but with every passing day, I understand Luigi a lot more. Just saying.
Understood him.
That's all.
Yeah.
You
And
know, no, I'm not wearing a Punisher hat because I'm encouraging vigilantes. No, 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 no. I'm a Marvel fan. I'm not endorsing what Luigi did. I'm just saying I kind of get it. Funny how that's going away, by the way. Like, not again, not saying that we don't, not saying there's not bigger things to worry about. It's just interesting. I ain't seen a post, a thought, a nothing about Luigi in a good week and a half, if not longer.
why I kind of forgot all about it.
Wow, really?
I, nah, I'm tuned out of a lot of this shit. I mean, I'm tapped in because we got this, but
Right.
other than that, for this, I do not care about the news.
Well, we gotta pay attention though, and I'll say this: even beyond what we do here, as your dad, I always want to encourage you to stay aware and stay as informed as you can. So if things go left, you're not going to be completely taken off guard and surprised. I think, and the thing I tagged you on Facebook,
I'm
this
not.
is all part of a process. I think the idea is to hit you every day something new, every day something new. Believe me, I know federal employees. Their phones are blowing up. It's getting to the point where they're getting scared to look because you work for the government, you get a government phone. It's getting to the point where they're getting scared to look at their phones. Every morning it's like, oh my God, what's going to be like? It's almost a trauma response when the phone goes off now. That's the point. The idea is to get you off center. If you're black, the idea is to have you sitting here, well, this is your fault because y'all didn't vote for Kamala and y'all stayed home. And it is dissension. It is that scene in the very first Avengers movie. If you remember the very first Avengers movie, this is on the ship where you got Tony and Cap fighting, and you got, when they find out, okay, this is all Nick Fury might be lying to everybody. This all might be a sham and a setup. That scene, that's the part of the Avengers movie we're at right now, and we don't want to be there. We don't want to be there.
Didn't pass that. This is why I don't care, and this is why adaptability is your greatest strength that we can have as a species. Anything can happen. I think this last decade should prove that anything can happen, and it's already too late. He's already in office. We got 4 years of this shit. This is what most of y'all mother lovers wanted. So yeah, it's already too late. So now it's just you're gonna have to cope. The blame game is over with. It's done. There's no going back. We're going back in time. So now we just gotta adapt. That's as simple as it gets. Adapt or do something about it. Like I said, I'm not inciting violence or whatever, but like I said, your money, your decisions as a populace control what they do, whether they like it or not. And they know that's the case. That's why they are, like you said, just constantly beating you down, keeping you distracted, probably putting out little posts here and there to keep the division up so you can play the finger game. Everybody have these huge arguments and then you just lose track of the plot. But if you just like, all right, whatever it is, what it is. So no, we adapt. And if they do something real stupid and most people don't like y'all have the power to stop it.
For
It's
now,
Nazi Germany right now. It's not. You have the power to stop it. Like the power of the people ain't just a cool saying that sounds good. It's real. And we've seen many examples of it in the last 2 years of people like, nah, we're done with this stuff, and then we just do, striking this, that, boycott, like all that stuff still works if it's done on a mass scale and everyone is on board. That's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, we can keep playing the blame game, this and that, make fun, whatever, do all the divisive stuff that we've been doing for the last however long. That isn't going anywhere. It's never constructive. We just going to just keep going back and forth over some stupid stuff. So yeah, now it's just time to adapt. That's the key word today. Adapt. And if it doesn't turn out the way that most of us don't like, then do something about it. We're done.
And
We're done moping, being sad, depressed about this stuff. So move forward. If it affects you, do something about it.
I will say this is scary and dangerous. So the 13th and 14th Amendments are kind of cousins, right? But here's what it is. I'm looking at the 14th Amendment. Guarantee citizenship, equal protection, and due process to all people in the United States. I will tell you the danger here because everyone's focusing on the citizenship part, right? I got it. The other parts are problematic as well. It's not just, oh, and see, that's the thing. I need people to think on a larger scale. It's not just, hey, they're trying to get rid of citizens. They're trying to get rid of the elite. No, 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 no. The other part is, and as a black person, this is kind of near and dear to my heart, equal protection and due process to all people in the United States. All right, so I'm going to simplify this and put it in movie terms. Now we're going to get our Dark Knight Rises quote for the day. Remember the scene where they were quote unquote after Bane took over and they were going to go putting people on trial and you either walked or you got shot, I believe were the options. That's pretty much what happens when due process is gone. There is no more, hey, I'm entitled to a trial. No, no. It's the court you saw in Dark Knight Rises. You walk and fall through the ice. That's what you get.
Not to cut you off, but that's fear mongering because then he can't change the Constitution. That's why it's there. So I don't know why people are worried about that. He can talk with a good talk, but that's never gonna fly. Because the second that flies, then at that point, all that I promise you a civil war will start. I'm
We
willing.
didn't think we didn't think
Because
Roe v.
now,
Wade would be
now you,
going either.
huh?
We didn't think Roe versus Wade would be going either.
This is different. It's the Constitution. This is not that it will not happen. If it does happen, all hell will actually break loose because now we really are living in a Nazi Germany type of situation, and now it's going to be life or death. But I'm not really worried about it because he can't do it. He ain't got the power to do it. So yeah, that part I'm not worried
So,
about. All the other little stuff he doing, all right, that's something to worry about. But then also it depends on the states. Because yeah, you can pass all these federal stuff, but the states still have the power of whatever state you in. So that's where it becomes important to where you live and see if your state is with this stuff or not. But
sir,
yeah,
I gotta remind you, unfortunately, that both pieces of Congress are also Republican.
it's not gonna fly.
For 2 years, he pretty much has a royal flush.
It's not gonna fly. Actually, no. They don't. It's not. There's still some Dems in the Congress, and there's still one person in there. Whatever.
The majority
That's cool.
is all red.
They're
That's
not
the part.
signing off for the amendment change. It's not going to
You
happen.
got rid of Roe v. Wade.
That's
I didn't think that would happen.
I can see that happen. This is a God Christian country, so I can see that happen. Unfortunately, but and not to mention every state ain't with it, like I said. So it depends on the state. But an amendment is a whole nother level. And I'm not saying I'm riding with all amendments because most of them needs to be updated anyway. But the ones that are there for a reason. He can't do it. It won't happen. Because if it happens, this whole thing falls. And I don't think they want that to happen.
Um, I'm not so sure. I'll circle back to the epiphany I just had.
That would be a straw.
There are people willing to suffer a little if the undesirables suffer a lot.
They're not, no, because this is where I disagree with you. They're going to suffer a lot too, because if the second they start changing amendments, that will affect everybody. And this will no longer be a democratic country, which is something that they hold value. So the second that the layers get peeled back and they show that, oh yeah, this ain't a democratic country no more, even though it kind of really isn't. But now that they're being literal with it and taking away this stuff, they're gonna be like, hold on. Okay, I was cool with you, getting all the legals on, but we changing amendments. He just doing whatever he wants. Like this ain't the country I
Listen,
grew up on. This ain't the land of the free. This seems like a dictatorship. Oh hell no. We get our guns, Johnny, get our guns. But yeah, nah.
I'm not trying to
I
scare
promise you
you.
it'll be a civil war. I promise you. I promise you it'll be a civil. If he does,
Why?
I
Because
promise. Yes, it will.
listen,
For the reason I
if
just
you,
no, no,
if you repeal the 14th Amendment,
no.
white folks ain't gonna be but so affected.
You think he's gonna stop there? No. That's the thing, dog. You give somebody an inch, they gonna take. So if they just allow that to happen, which I don't think they will, if they allow that to happen, it's nothing to stop him then. We can just be like, now he can really do what he said. I'm gonna be president until I die on some freaking Putin and North Korea-ish. So yeah,
Uh-huh.
like no. As
And
much
there's an idiot
as
in
much as they
Tennessee
ride
trying to.
him, as much as they ride him, they still democracy is their number one thing that they talk about. Land of free, all this democracy, Democrat. So the second that shield, oh wow, yeah. Second that shield drops, now you're going to have everybody's attention, like everyone's, including them, the knee pad riders. Everybody, hold on. Okay, I was cool with this, that, but now you're doing too much. Now we got a problem. It's not
All you have to do is
what
pledge
American
allegiance.
is.
All you gotta do is, pledge allegiance to Hitler. I mean, Trump, and you'll be fine. And I'm just not confident
That's not.
there's enough white folks to oppose.
They will if
I'm
it.
not.
It's not going to happen. But if it happens, let's say theoretically, anything can happen. I wouldn't, like I said, it wouldn't completely shock me if it happens, but I don't
If
think.
it happens, the 13th Amendment will soon be next.
Oh, there's going to be a lot of amendments that will be next. That's what I'm saying. It's not going to happen because now you still have the facade that this is the land of the free. If you take that facade away, you're going to take away the people, and they're already upset and angry and waiting. Like you already have a bloodbath that is overflowing. You take away that shield, that little cap that holds it together somewhat, even though it's overflowing, and people are losing their freaking minds. You remove that cap, and it just falls all out. That's
You
why.
turn the clock back to the 1860. You turn the clock back to 1859. I don't think you have enough people to be mad about that.
You're not. I
I
think
just don't. I've lost faith. I don't like let's be real.
already angry, including them. Like there's.
Why?
What do you mean why?
Why would they be
The
angry?
question is
Everything
why.
they want to happen is happening. Why would they be angry?
No, it's not everything in regards to just the racist part, but like them economically, stuff is still getting worse, and it's about to get even more worse with all the stupid stuff that's happening. So
Go
yeah,
back to
them
my
people
go
to
go
figure
back
it
to my
out.
epiphany. Go
That's
back
not,
to my epiphany.
hey, that's
They're
cool. Change the
they're
amendment.
willing to suffer a little if they suffer a lot.
They're not going
They're
to
okay.
suffer through. That whole statement don't make sense. You're going to suffer
Sure.
like you're already suffering a lot. Newsflash. So you suffering more is not going to help. And then
So let me show you the warped thinking. Granted, a dozen eggs is now $10, right? But I don't have Mexican illegals bringing drugs in here, and there's no balls and stalls. We win it.
are you? One,
Of course
I can't
not.
believe I won, not the Mexican at one. Like you, our government has a hand in these drugs being here. Let's get that straight. They're part of the drug game. So, I mean, if you want to get rid of drugs, look at up top. That comes from us because there's big business in there. Two,
Now it's the Mexican cartels and the illegals.
I mean, sure, they have something to do with it, but guess who they working with? So, yeah, there's a reason why the U.S. ain't going down there to just eliminate all of them. There's a reason. It's business. But yeah.
Pablo Escobar was on the payroll. Manuel Noriega was on the payroll. I'm sorry, continue.
Like I said, plus supply and demand. So yeah, as long as there is demand, there will always be a supply, no matter what.
Mhm.
Besides that, yeah, you get all the legals out and all the jobs that no one wants to work, and now companies can't pay pennies for that, so now they're going to upcharge everything that they sell. That's going to reflect on y'all, and then yeah, then the tariffs
It,
too, so everything's gonna cost more too, because Trump's trying to strong arm people like Colombia, and they like, nah. So,
Canada as well. Canada's like, oh no, we straight. We too can play that game.
yeah,
Canada,
like yeah, you actually can join us. Like Canada's like, no, we don't want to join your third world, your glorified third world country. We're good. But yeah, this is everyone is going to suffer. And then I'm just saying the straw that will and it's sad that it will have to come to that point, but the straw that will break the camel's back for everyone will be if they change this stupid if they change the amendment. I
mhm.
promise some bands will have it that like it's not going to go over like the way you think it will.
No, it won't.
Now that she's gone. So yeah. Or the
And
facade.
I, and I and I think that's the thing. Like when I hear people talking about this 14th Amendment change, the only thing that's being mentioned is, hey, being born here doesn't make you a citizen, which means, of course, everyone's automatically thinking about, the migrants and the illegals. No, the entire 14th Amendment is talking about due process as well. So you suspend it. That also means your right to trial, all of those things legally are gone too.
Yeah.
This isn't like this isn't just, and I've always said this. I don't know if this moron from New York is an accidental genius or an idiot savant. I really don't.
He's a genius. I give him for that. In terms of
You don't smart.
in
You don't strike
marketing.
you that bright.
In terms of marketing. Like I'm usually saying like book smart hell now, but in terms of like marketing and business, oh yeah, he's a genius. Because he like I said, he just hoodwinked this country for a second time in a row. Um,
Everybody.
and he told you what he was going to do, and you still fell for it. I'm sorry, he is great at marketing shit. He is a marketing genius. That we have to admit.
Now, we'll say this: he had help in the form of the weak ass Democratic Party. He definitely had help.
Yeah, and he
If
capitalized on that genius. They didn't know what they were doing. Dems had a horrible role, and I don't like neither one of you. But
right,
Dems had a freaking horrible rollout, and Trump kept his foot on their necks the whole time. So you couldn't even recover, even when you tried to make the pivot from Biden to Kamala. It's like, nah, my foot's still on your neck. Now you just made it easier because now you scrambling.
totally.
Paranoid. Now you scrambling. Shadow catcher. But yeah, but
And it's just there's so many pieces to this, and no, the I will say this: I take no pride in this. This is not the "I told you so" moment. This is not "see we was right" moment. This is problematic. Shout out to the brother and sisters at Native Land Pod. Between Angela Rye and the other sister, they are some real industry insiders. And what's concerning is on a pod that they just did, they talked about how media members are getting pseudo gag orders. There are major media outlets telling people, telling the representatives to not talk about Elon and his Nazi salute, which only solidifies we saw what we think we saw. Like when and it goes back to the something I sent you. This is the importance of what we do. If we suddenly disappear, I have no doubt it wouldn't be accidental. If we suddenly get subjected to more scrutiny about what we say here, it's not going to be a surprise because when you have major media outlets and iHeart and things of that nature telling people don't talk about Elon, tells me two things. One, it's exactly what we thought we saw. Two, this is looking more Nazi German 1939-ish every day. The First Amendment is important for reasons such as this. See, the First Amendment isn't important for TMZ. I don't need TMZ. I don't need to know where certain stars or what they're doing with their genitalia. I could care less, right? But the First Amendment, freedom of the press, freedom of the speech, this is where TikTok not being bought out is important. This is where you start looking at meta platforms like, wait a minute, this is interesting. You're getting rid of fact checkers and so on and so forth. Like this is where those things become important because I don't know, man. It's a scary prospect when you have major media outlets telling people, no, you shouldn't talk about this. Why are we covering that up? What we all saw what we saw. And like you pointed out numerous times, bruh ain't even American, but he is rich and white. And apparently that's all you need to be.
Yeah.
You can be mediocre as all hell, but if you meet those other two criteria, rich and white, I'm sorry, rich white male. That's the trifecta. Rich white male. You meet that you meet that trifecta, ain't a whole lot in the world you can't do, don't have access to.
Hmm.
But
This is America.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Um, so the other thing is okay, so there's a running thing that's not really a joke. America does not have an enemy they did not create. As I've mentioned briefly before, um, Manuel Noriega was on America's payroll. I think I'm not sure about what Gaddafi's sin wasn't being on America's payroll. Gaddafi's sin was trying to unite Africa and cut America out, so he had to go. Um, Pablo Escobar was on America's payroll. So where am I going here? There have been ICE raids in schools. In fact, there is a now again, these are supposed to be off limits. Schools and churches are supposed to be off limits. No, there's a moron in Fort Worth, Texas, a teacher, I wish I could find his name, that actually invited ICE to his school, talking about, hey, my kids in here barely speak a lick of English. They have to use Google Translate. Because I'm sure you'd much rather be teaching the white kids, right? I, I forgot the point I was about to drive home there, so I will let you pick it up. But yeah, we have people inviting ICE to the house. Have you lost your ever loving mind, sir? Yeah.
What did that remind you of? People reporting, where certain people are?
Oh, oh, real quick, that's where I was going. America doesn't have an enemy it didn't create. So when you are 6 and 7 years old and scared to go to school because you might be deported, because you might have men with bulletproof vests and semi-automatic weapons run up on you as a 7-year-old. And if you get deported back to your country, what do you if this ain't a villain origin story, what is?
Hmm.
Like if this is not a villain origin story,
Now more is coming, man. Let's go.
I'm just like You create, and then the issue is they're next door. Russia across the ocean. This isn't other countries. You're making more enemies out of people that live next door to you. That's like egging your next door neighbor's house. It's like smacking up your neighbor's kids. What do you think eventually is going to happen? Just,
No part eventually. You do that, you might get dealt with that day. But yeah, yeah.
and this is why I don't worry about going to Mexico because I'm like, I am fairly sure Mexicans don't look at me and think, okay, he's part of the reason, automatic guns are waved in my kid's face. No, and me.
No, but you're still a Yankee, so you still easy with target. But yeah. Plus you stick
I mean, one, if we won't really take it there, taking me for hostage ain't gonna get you no ransom money.
no
Sorry, dog.
good. Yeah, you don't know that. If not, you'd be chopped up. Either way. Nah, man. No, you got that. Nah, what was I about to say? Yeah. Remind you of something, yeah, people getting reports. So yeah, the direct comparisons is getting scary close now. It was already close before, but now it's getting real close. But all that might come to an end, like I said, if that amendment gets shut down or it gets changed, because then, yeah, I don't even think the most racist person you can think of would be down with that because of democracy.
I
But
will circle that.
I'm just going on democracy. I'm not saying they're going to have just grow a moral compass out of nowhere. No, they're not. But you affect their that is their bottom line. Besides the whiteness, it's still democracy. They ride the amendments. Freedom of speech. They ride it. No knee pads. They want to put the sword. So yeah, I I'm not yeah. The comparisons is real spooky. It's getting spooky, scary, stupid, and hilarious. Shout out mustard. But yeah.
I
Hey,
will circle back to my epiphany. And it's the only thing I'm riding with, the only thing I'm clinging to. That's like, oh, okay, now this makes some sense. Until further notice, I've learned they're willing to suffer a little if you suffer a lot. And the goofy of all of this, as you rightfully pointed out, yo, dog, you gonna suffer too, a lot.
yeah.
But
Hey, it's all right. Some people gotta learn the hard. So the wheels are already in motion. We can't really. I mean, we could stop it, but people aren't gonna do it because that's where I lost hope. People ain't gonna stop this until it's too late, which would be them.
well, we're getting to the fear phase. Like having read, and for the record, I didn't finish it, but I really wanted to read Mein Kampf. I wanted to see like again, it's the villain origin story. I wanted to see where he turned. Like when did the Green Goblin mask start talking to him? So I read Mein Kampf up to the point to figure out what was going on. And good old Adolf had a serious issue with the system as it existed. He had this unwavering belief in German superiority, and they were weakened and polluted by the Jews. And I'm like, it got to a point though where he reached the level of, yo, either you roll with him or you was too scared to say something against because of what would happen to you. It's getting spooky because that's the next level of this. Depending on what else gets repealed, depending on what else gets taken back, we're bullet train to either you rolling with the nonsense or you gonna be too scared to speak out against it.
It's a different time. This is a different people.
Is it? Because I mean,
I mean, we're still stupid, but but not so stupid that we'll let that.
well, here's the thing. Here's things that gets me though. Here's the thing that gets me, and this is where it gets spooky and scary. I'm going to speak for me. I think I can speak for you, but I'm going to speak for me for sure on this, and I'll let you answer yourself. Worst case scenario, if I were an ICE, one, I'd never be an ICE agent. I can't. Just the notion of immigration and custom enforcement, like, How do you enforce a border you stole?
Fault,
You redrew the line.
fault.
You redrew the line. KRS once said this many years ago. There can never be justice on stolen land. You don't get to skip over that part.
Mhm.
You stole it. So, where I'm going, hypothetically, if I was in the government and I worked for ICE and they say, hey, we need you to run up in these homes, in this school, in these churches, because we got to find the illegals. No, that's the day I request a transfer. That's the day I hand in the badge. They have literally gone to churches and schools to inquire about enrollment because they know if they can get their hands on those records, they can find the quote unquote illegals. So I say that to say this. Where I'm going is here. You and I speak, well, again, I'll let you speak for you. Me, that's the day I hand in the badge. That's the day, you know what? I'm good. I'll work private security. I will find something in the private sector. I will not work for a government hell bent on terrorizing children. No. Where I'm going with this is this. As much as you say certain things won't happen, the inherent issue is there aren't enough people in that organization, in ICE, in law enforcement, saying, I'm not doing this. In fact, I'm willing to bet there's a crap ton of them eager to do it. That's the problem. It's not just the moron at the top, it's the fact that there are people willing to do his bidding because their moral compass points right. So I'll let you respond, sir. If you hypothetically work for ICE and they say we need you to go run up in this school or run up in this church and go get the illegals, what you doing?
Wouldn't be in that situation, no worries about it. But if I did, no, I'm driving. Yeah, same thing. But this is where I push back. Yeah, they're going to be with this when it comes to people who are not citizens.
Hmm?
Yeah, I agree. They are probably foaming at the mouth with this. Let it be give the order that they have to do something to their own people. Then let's see who really with the shit. Excuse my French. Who's really with it? Because got a few people I know in the military, different branches. Then they ain't with the issue. If a theoretical civil war happened, you had to turn on your own people. It's easier, which is a messed up thing to say, to take out someone from another country that you have no relation to. It's a lot harder to do it to your neighbor, your friend, your cousin, it's a lot harder to pull that trigger when it's home. So that's when you'll see who's really with it and who's not. Is when that order comes. Because it's looking like that order might come. I hope it does. But it's looking like we're going down that road. This is why Cop City might even be even worse threat than we thought. So yeah, that's like yeah, the illegals know that as bad as it is and as horrible as it is, yes, I agree. I think they're foaming them up because they don't see them as people because they're not quote unquote our
Been
people,
done.
air quotes. But until he gives that order that you have to do it to your own people, that's where I think we're going to see the line get drawn and we're going to see something. And we're going to see what if we really are Nazi Germany or we're going to have some real patriots be like, I'm not doing this to my own people. And some people I know that are in positions like that are not with the ish. They're there for a paycheck, whatever. And if you got to do something overseas, whatever. But home, nah, this is like, they literally said, like, in other military people really literally said, like, this is what we do it for, to protect home base. So now we're gonna make an enemy out of people at home? Then what am I in the military for? So that's where we gonna see if it really gets spooky or not, when that order gets cut. Them attacking, unfortunately, immigrants and all that, they don't care. Because they're not one of us, apparently, air quotes. They not
Mhm.
like us, right? But now let's see what you do with the order when you have to go against people like us. So that'd be a little different. Or it might not, who knows? But That would be the answer to the question is if we're going in the extreme direction of the Nazi stuff or the Germany stuff, or if we're is this just a smoke screen and just we just yap it. Like the goal is just the immigrants, where everybody's a freaking immigrant unless you're Native American or Mexican. But yeah, so yeah, it's gonna be a fun 4 years, man.
It is. And I keep saying two because um, you can flip Congress back and actually have some legal pushback. So it's how much damage you can do in 2 years.
Look how much damage you do in 1 week.
Well, that's not and I wish I forgot to copy it down. It's what I tagged you on Facebook. This is all by design. This is all designed to overwhelm, disrupt, and knowing people in the government. Um,
It seems
it's
like
working.
I'm about to say it's working.
It's working. And that's the scary part. So I will take a pause break right here and just tell people, especially black folk, but anybody who's not with this nonsense, you have got to fortify your mind. You've got to find an outlet. You can't sit in this. So on a maintaining your stability, your mental health piece, because I hear a lot of obviously I'm black, hear a lot of black people saying we just gonna sit this out. We gonna no. The first thing is you've got to fortify your mind. I use myself as an example. My pattern for maintaining my mental health is not stop. I still see my therapist every other week. I still work out. I still make sure my diet is on point because look, we're at war, but it's not with guns and bullets. Right now, it's a mental attack. Depending on what your faith is, you might see it as a spiritual attack. But make no mistake, the thing that I believe in, we're at war. See, you and I, we talk about a world of unity because the fun fact, people, really all of this is based on the notion that there's not enough. So you got to get your little crumbs because there's not enough. No. There's more than enough to go around. And the ugly part is knowing this, but then being surrounded in a culture, in a society, in a country that doesn't believe it. So that creates what we have here now. But getting back on point, you've got to fortify your mind. There is a war going on. Always there's always a competition. I won't say war, but a competition for your eyeballs. You go on social media, check your explore page, see how many different things are jumping out at you. Check your email, see how much stuff is, hey, buy this thing, buy this thing. How many things are competing for your attention? Not necessarily distraction, but everything is based on you spending money. So they're trying to get everything is based on you spending money. It's exclusivity because you want to be the flyest, or it's fear and scarcity because, oh my God, they're coming across the border to kill you. You need a security system. You need 26,000 guns. You need a cannon in your front lawn. It's fear based, it's scarcity based, you know. So you got to fortify your mind. You got to find a thing that brings you peace. Now,
Man,
if you want to stay there, I'm not mad at that. But some of us want action. That's step two. Thing is, you might give up a little bit of peace to do it, but start connecting with like-minded people and see how you can take steps to create the world as you want to see it. My problem is what I want to see in the world runs counter to what we're being shown. Like I said, there's enough for everybody. Far-fetched be far idea that they actually the systems in place allow that to permeate as a real thing. But no, there really is enough for everybody. There's no reason for anyone to be sleeping on the streets. There's no reason for anyone, at least in this country, I don't know about the world, but in this country, to be sleeping on the streets. There's no reason for anybody in this country to be hungry. There's enough space, clean water, and food for everyone in this country. But scarcity creates what we have now. But yeah, you gotta find a ways to fortify your brain, fortify your mind, protect your peace. I know it's said a lot, but it's true as hell right now. You gotta protect your peace. You can't sit this one out. You gotta at least keep what's going on in the corner of your eye, because what you don't want to do is completely tune out, and then that 14th Amendment all of a sudden disappears. Just saying. Because I promise, if the 14th goes, the 13th is soon to follow.
13 goals, everything's gone. Like they're not stopping with just the 13. Everything is gone. So that's why I said if that happens, everybody better get the strap.
Well, if the 14th and the 13th go, look, sad but true. If the 14th and the 13th go, the people that put this idiot in power ain't really upset.
Okay, you up? Yes, they are. I promise, like I said, their bottom line, yeah, it might be the whiteness stuff, but it's also the thing about America, American. What is the thing that they cry to the most? Outside of Christianity, is the land of the free.
Agreed.
You strip that, it doesn't matter what it is. Any of the amendments, they're going to have a freaking problem. I promise you they will have a problem because now you're
Okay.
taking away the democracy part that is the whole facade. Now you
Mhm.
it up and you're going to turn into a country that they don't like a Russia, North Korea, or whatever. And they
Hold
not
on. So
going to ride for that.
let me paint you a picture.
Everybody
Let's
else damn
pretend.
not going to ride for that.
Let
Okay.
me paint you a picture because I believe you're right if those things happen separately. Let's pretend for a second these morons, or I can't even call them morons, these sinister people are as sharp as we think they are. It's not going to be a case where, just throwing out a date, January 1st, 2026, the 14th Amendment goes, and then January 1st, 2027, the 13th goes. No, it'll be concurrent, the 14th and the 13th. So while everyone's pissed off that the 14th is gone, watch how quickly things change if the 13th goes because, hey, 14th Amendment is gone. Due process, all the things are gone. But I can own black people again. Oh, damn. Well, well, well.
That's not going to happen. Sorry. Now we're playing La La Land. And that's why I said a civil war will happen. But no, they're not going to ride with that, dog.
So
One,
you
because
you
well, the biggest example I got is we already see some Trump supporters. Well, I've seen, I don't know if you see, already flip and be like, nah, I'm not rocking with this. I made a mistake.
we
Trump
have.
supporters who are already gogging. So now now they're switching. That's why I said everyone ain't with it. Yes, there's a lot of dummies with it. Yes, we saw it in the election process. There's a lot of dummies. But sometimes some dummies get smart sometimes. So yeah, and they realize they made a mistake. I've already seen some of them flip. So the second you start changing amendments, I guarantee you more will start to flip. I guarantee it. And now we're gonna have a problem because now you just got rid of the facade of this being a democracy, even though it's air quotes democracy. But now you
I
just got rid of
mean,
the curtains. You open the curtain. Now we see in the back that oh yeah, this is some wicked stuff. So now
they're, I mean,
you can't
they're chipping away at the first, and no one's up in arms.
They are up in arms. I'm sorry, okay, I don't know what you'd be looking at. Even the racist mother lovers be saying, man, freedom of speech, man. I can't say this no more. They censoring us. That's what I'm saying.
See,
People are already angry and waiting. You start changing amendments. Everyone is already angry at something. It might not all be the same thing, but everyone's angry at something. You want something, you want to do something that'll make everyone angry at the same time at the same thing. Take away the amendments. Watch what happens.
I mean,
I promise.
as long as you don't touch the second, everybody's cool.
They're going to touch everything.
They're chipping away at the first, and no one seems to care. Here's the weird part, though. Here's the weird part. All BS aside, it blows my mind to see people on meta platforms yachting and moaning about First Amendment. Dog, you've seen Zuckerberg sitting again at the foot of this dude. We saw back in 2020 during the pandemic what you could and couldn't say about the jab, and you did nothing.
Still can't.
I've personally seen people with huge followings between meta platforms, Facebook and IG, all of a sudden randomly disappear, and we've done nothing because these are privately owned
You got to
companies.
take that.
So chipping away at the First Amendment, okay, y'all good with it. Because the first time Zuckerberg was like, "Oh, we had fact checkers and we're taking your information down." The first time it happened, folks should have been like, "Oh, f this." You didn't. You got clowns like Boosie. Come on, man, Mr. Zuckerberg, man, let me get my platform. And that's just on the black side. But I've seen plenty of people doing a bunch of bitching and complaining about what they can and can't say on these meta platforms, which are privately owned companies, and your boy is part of the Gluck Club with Trump. So I hear you, but we've seen the First Amendment get chipped away at.
It's not,
In the name of
there's a difference between chipped and completely taken away. I get what you're saying, but people were still mad about it. Like I don't know what you were saying. People were still upset about it. Now, whether they're doing something about it is a whole nother subject. But upset, yes. So if you completely take it away, I promise you, I promise something is going to happen. No
I
one,
mean,
no one, not even the people you think is going to be with this with. Because some of the people that you think is with this stuff now is switching up. That's why I'm saying
okay,
you, you, you get rid of the facade of democracy, this whole thing falls. I promise you, it falls.
okay, because it's like
Because if you
how programmed and plugged.
yeah, go ahead, I'm sorry.
I was gonna say how plugged in and programmed people are. People will people will have their post or whatever their account banned or shadow banned on IG and go on Facebook to complain about it. That's like having beef with you. That's like having two siblings. You got beef with one sibling, so you go to the other sibling and complain. They just like seriously, seriously.
They twins.
It's right. Like it's one got a mole and one doesn't. Like what are we doing? What are we doing? So it's like I hear you, but the only thing I've seen people legit fight for is the Second Amendment. Because for some odd reason, that's the amendment that gets people up in arms.
Because you can
Arms.
prepare for something like this. Yeah, it is boss. But yeah, you prepare for something like this. When they start taking away other amendments, we got the Second Amendment on deck in the clip. I got it on me. So try me. Come here, peacekeepers, stormtroopers, whatever the freak you want to call them. Come, get this work. So
and,
nah.
and if we really want to keep it funky, the First Amendment is kind of shaky anyway. Because if you work for a company and you say A, B, and C, you can still be fired.
I mean, freedom of speech, that's the one thing I think people take too literally. It's not freedom of consequence. There's still consequences to your actions, even if you say something. Like, yeah, I can say whatever I want outside. But if I say something too crazy to somebody, I get punched in the mouth. That means they didn't take away my freedom of speech. I just got to suffer the consequence of what was said.
But
Say,
that's still assault. At least you know that's still assault.
oh, but I'm saying, say something crazy, there's still going to be consequences. They're not going to throw you in jail for saying something. That's where it comes to. Like, this is not Russia where you'll disappear, or North Korea, you will disappear if you say something. This is like you can
Right.
say something crazy, and nothing will happen to you in terms of like going to jail or being killed. But that doesn't mean you won't get fired. Say some racist or homophobic or whatever stuff, and they find it. Yeah, they're gonna fire you. That's bad for business.
I mean, classic example. And not my finest moment, not my finest moments, but I'll give you an example. We have been involved in some very intense basketball. I've made some very interesting threats to people on the basketball court.
Yeah,
Um, had I said the same things at work,
you're fired.
right? And I'm like, what happened to freedom of speech? Oh, that's right, because business comes first.
But even, I mean, just keep it going. Luckily, it didn't happen. But you could have been killed. So, it's like, I'm not saying there's no consequences to what you said on the court. Yeah, you're not gonna lose your job. You didn't go to jail, but It could have led to something you going to jail or being dead.
What I'm saying, like, listen, when I tell you I'm gonna stomp you to ashes on the court, whatever. But if I tell a coworker I'm gonna stomp you to ashes, now I'm gonna get fired. Now I'm getting called by HR. Where's my freedom of speech? Where's my First Amendment right?
Yeah, just walk around. Like,
Oh, that's right. Business kind of trumps that, doesn't it?
no, see, I disagree. See, I'm fine with that. See, I'm not with you with this one. But you lost me on that one. Because like I said, freedom of speech does not mean freedom of consequences, my guy. You can't talk to people all types of ways. There's always going to be some consequence, whether it's a fist or your ass or you getting fired, one of the two. But so I don't have a problem with business is fine because you said something out of pocket. If you say something out of pocket, yeah. If you say something that's not out of pocket, you're fired, then that's where the problem comes. But if you say something out of pocket, just openly threaten somebody for what? Yeah, you could be fired. Would you want someone working for you? Like, they're just saying anything? No. You had a business, or you said, let's just say
Hey, listen.
you don't want that.
Depends
Plus,
on what you said, Chief. Like, okay, you know what? You know, you put your lunch in the fridge, and they've been eating your lunch for the last 2 weeks, and you finally caught them. You understand you said you want to stomp them to ashes. It's totally okay. You know, it makes sense. That tracks.
okay, fine. If that happens, fine. But if you just saying that for no reason, or just because you just got mad,
I mean,
uh,
speaking from experience, you don't tell somebody you want to stomp them to ashes for no good reason at all. Typically, something go a little wrong. But
I mean, I doubt you get fired for that. But especially if the whole situation explains, but who knows? But yeah, Constitution gets messed with, everything falls.
I mean, like I
Now,
said,
I'm kind of hoping it. Well, actually, I'm not because it's gonna be real spooky if it does. But and that might be the only way for this to fall is for
I
them
mean,
to trust.
like I said, if I'm reading the tea leaves and understanding how this thing goes, I understand the legit concern about the 14th Amendment being taken off, but I am fairly certain it's going to be a pair. It'll be the 13th and the 14th because that's the only way. That's the only way that works. Sad but true. That's the only way that works. You pull the 14th, yes, you're going to have bedlam. You will start having rebellion. You pull the 14th and the 13th, like, hey, listen, due process is gone. You're not going to have a trial. But you can own Negroes. You can own you a couple Negroes.
Not gonna happen. Not with this generation of black. No, good luck with that. So I'm not even worried about that part. But yeah, I'm not really worried about the Constitution being messed with anyway. But if it does happen, just know at that whenever that happens, that might be our last podcast because the revolution will be televised. And I'm not streaming that shit. So yeah.
I
So
mean, we want it'll be like, in Palestine. I'm sure if something like that happens, the first thing to go is going to be any kind of social media communication. I mean, you literally have Zuckerberg sitting there with Trump. So,
there's other social medias, and like I said, if TikTok is still around, they can't touch it. So
yeah,
yeah.
I'm sure they're trying to shore that up. Yeah. Speaking of which, black owned social media platforms. There's Blue Sky. Definitely want to shout them out. We're going to be exploring those platforms as well because that might be important. Um, if this all falls, being completely serious, when you start sensing, excuse me, when you start having censorship, and again, shout out to Native Land Pod. When I'm hearing from people that are connected for real to big media corporations and they're getting directives to not speak on certain things, that's that's what I'm saying. That's where it gets dangerous with the First Amendment because we right now have the freedom to say whatever the hell we want. We are not corporately sponsored. Um, no one owns us.
I
We own
know.
this.
Man, we ain't got the freedom to say whatever we want.
Right. But I'm like, when you got people who control what goes out to millions saying, hey, don't talk about A, B, and C, that's a problem. And
Okay.
the fact that Meta is at the foot of Trump, that's a problem. So yes, there are black-owned social media platforms. You and I have said this years ago. We have enough ingenuity, enough income, and enough know-how to create our own. So stop relying on others, and we can create our own.
Nope. It's not what's in, it's not what's hot, it's not where everybody is. So, monkey see, monkey do. But yeah.
Oh, I've seen a lot of people leaving. I've seen a lot of people leaving Meta, and I've seen a lot of people leaving Twitter once they figured out Elon was a jerk. So
Yeah,
it
still
took a lot, but it's happening.
on the other half to matter. Only one that isn't is TikTok, and that might not be around.
Yeah,
So
but I know I've seen a lot of people say, "Yo, catch me in blue sky. I'm out." I've seen a
I
lot of people
never,
shutting down their Twitter.
I had never heard of it until you sent it. So
Mm.
I
I mean,
hope
the good news is there are a lot of big people that are leaving Meta, like Amanda Seals. Shout out to Amanda, love Amanda. There's a few other folks that I can't think of right off the top, but there's a lot of folks that have huge followings saying, "I'm out. I'm done with Meta. I'm done with Twitter. Catch me over here." And that's what we should do because now the disruption is different. Like, look, when Zuckerberg is in bed with Trump, it's real easy to push a button and suddenly certain accounts get censored, shadow banned, so on and so forth. When we own it, now it's a little different. Now it's a little different. You can't just censor because it's ours. It's owned by one of us. So you can't just push a button, Zuckerberg, and make it go away. So we'll definitely be looking into. I've never been really Twitter savvy. Like I kind of checked out of social media. Like Facebook was cool. It took me forever to get an IG account. And that was it for me. I never did Snapchat because I never got it. Like, huh? Like Snapchat seemed like this weird Instagram little brother. Like I've never done Snapchat. Um, and anything beyond that, we didn't have on TikTok. Should have. If TikTok sticks around, we will be. Um, but this is all I got. So yeah, I'll be looking into the Blue Skies and the other platforms to see if we can get it popping over there just in case. Because we chiefly do YouTube. I don't know who owns YouTube. Interesting. Somehow YouTube has stayed out of all of this. But
they got their own
I,
problem.
because YouTube isn't a social media platform. That's why. Duh. So YouTube isn't officially social media. So yeah. But yeah, there are platforms for us. Like I said, we've talked about this ad nauseum, but I'm going to keep driving the point home. We can do for self. We have the income, we have the intelligence, we have the ingenuity. We can do for self. Bob Johnson, a whole freaking television network in BET. One of the biggest brains in this on this planet, Neil deGrasse Tyson. Like it. We can do it ourselves. We got the money to do it. We can do it ourselves. LeBron, billionaire. Jordan, billionaire. Like we can run it down. Kanye, well, when he's black, billionaire. like, we can run it down. The income is there. The capital is there.
Hmm.
We just got to do it
Why haven't they done it?
because the incentive hasn't been obvious. Since you asked, that's a very good question. The incentive hasn't been obvious. The threat hasn't been as obvious.
So it's a threat.
That's why.
So all these black elites haven't done all the stuff you said yet because there's no threat. That's just
Because we've been sucking on the we've been sucking on the list. Okay, so we want to touch that. The reality situation is ever since the Black Power movement died, crack era came in and hip hop became prominent, we've been sucking on the capitalistic tits.
good.
That's the real.
And you think that's going to stop with them and us as a community? Have you
It
seen us?
kinda has to. It it kinda has to now.
It been had to, but it hasn't. It's not going to change now. It's too late.
Well, hold on. Because it goes back to something I sent you a few weeks ago. People don't want change. They just want to make enough money to where the changes don't affect them, right?
Sure.
Well, the trick is, and if we're gonna be 100% keep it funky, look, I don't think most of the ignorant crap that black folk do is solely fueled by white people.
It's
You
not.
start look, you start looking at who supports and watches the ignorant nonsense. It's a good chunk of us doing this, right?
Yeah.
But now you can't afford to. You can't afford to sit on the sidelines. You can't afford to sit and watch Housewives and watch Love and Hip Hop, watch the
Right.
ignorant nonsense anymore
You know,
because your life is being slowly whittled away.
he was already
You
doing
can't, the escapism mechanism is falling apart.
already doing that. So, all right. Hypothetical. If Kamala won, would I have a feeling I know your answer, but would it be so urgent?
Nope, be still asleep. It'd be Obama all over
And
again.
that's my point. Then this is all BS. Everything we passed urgency. We should have been past urgency, past the when the crack era quote unquote ended. But we're not
Bing.
because we're comfortable. So yeah, so either way it's a lose-lose. That's what I'm saying. If we weren't going to get up for Kabbalah, why are we going to get up now? It's too late. That should have started before you got in office. A long time ago. It is too late to freaking galvanize. And one, I don't even think we have the ability to, because like you just said, we are still wrapped around the thumb of capitalism. And we all know it. We all know it. And all the people you know for the most part are too. Same with me. So yeah, on a personal level, on a broad level, this is still America. We were still all propaganda, brainwashed and propaganda to believe in money and capitalism and out the mud and all this. I gotta get mine, trust no one, blah blah blah. Cool. That ain't gonna be shedded overnight because this idiot's here. It's not. If anything, it's probably pushing it even further.
I'm I'm trying to think of a rebuttal. I'm trying.
Matrix is
I
a
think the I got nothing, man. Just because it's like, look, as long as we as a people chase the capitalistic dream, I want the Benz, the Bentley, the blah blah blah. As long as is hyper individualism, we're gonna be stuck where we stuck at.
see that changing at all right now? I don't. I see it
I
even
think it kind of has to though, because we're not in it. Listen,
been
the
happening.
scariest thing is if we don't come together, if we don't start having different conversations. I'm not saying it's going to change tomorrow, but at this point, we need to start having different conversations.
Are we having the same stupid conversation? I'll answer for you. It's the same stupid. It's probably being reinforced now. Because the whole thing, like, all right, if I make this certain amount of money, you become rich. None of this will affect me. We still have that illusion. You know, the J verse, you know what I'm saying? That's all them different passports. Like I said, you once you hit a certain tax bracket, you good.
Yeah, you are correct. You are
So
still
that
correct.
mindset is, if anything, is reinforced that people are doubling down, trying to find the next thing to get to that status. It's not a, oh, we need to come together, this, that. It's still, I need to get mine and then I'll help when I get there. Maybe.
I
Not
think it
we
depends.
can get ours together at the same time and help each other, make it an easy freaking path. Nope. It's, I gotta get mine, no matter what it takes. No matter what.
I think it's a different I think it depends on where you're looking. And I'll tell you this. A lot of the information that I've sent you recently comes from black folks I know online. Like I was not aware of all of the major black owned social media platforms. A lot of people have been sharing information about weapons classes, where you can get your CD, get your license, your carry and conceal license. Like I'm seeing a lot, just the people I follow and stuff I look at. I'm seeing a lot more regular black folk trying to get folk ready and armed, literally and with information, because they can see, okay, things might go left. So I am seeing people, oh, put it this way. I'm seeing people putting the word out like, listen, if you about community, if you about trying to come together, here's an opportunity. Come through, get your carry and conceal license so you can arm yourself. Hey, if you sick of Meta and sick of Twitter, here's some alternatives. Let's move. So I am seeing some things changing. Now on a massive, yo, we gonna everybody donate $10 to this, and we gonna make this move. No, I haven't seen that yet.
That's my see. That's cool. I see the little stuff too, but that's not my. Unfortunately, that's not my concern. You want to know why? Because majority rules. So if the majority is still on that stupid-ish, that's what's going to be the norm still, the stupid-ish, and that's my problem. We're not on the same page at all. We're not. Yes, you're gonna have your few people like us and other, do some good things, but they are
Mhm.
still minorities. Wow, double entendre. So yeah,
Well,
the
I
majority of
say,
us gets on the same damn page and stop having the same stupid ass divisive conversations that's not going anywhere and keep walking in circles. I hate balloons now just because of that. But yeah. Every time I see a balloon, I just want. But yeah, nah, we got ways to go, and unfortunately, we don't have the time to get to the point that we need to. That's what I'm talking about.
mhm.
Unless, like I said, an epiphany happens, we all just have, T'Challa from the other world just goes to all our dreams. We all just come together somehow. But unless that's happening, and our ancestors don't come down and help us and awaken us, we're cooked. We are cooked.
Just, um, I always go back to Zach De La Rocha, Rage Against the Machine. It has to start somewhere. It has to start sometime. What better place than here? What better time than now?
It's not starting. That's my issue. I mean, one, it has to start somewhere, but there is a time limit. We are past that time limit. Like
I
this
mean,
is getting damn near urgent. Like you just said, stuff could be happening in the next 2 years. Stuff is already happening in a week. So we don't got time. That's not on our side anymore. So it's either now or really never.
I mean,
And I don't see it happening now. We still stupid. So yeah, I'm sorry. The faith, the blind faith you have in people, I do not have. I'm gonna need to see it.
it's I forgot where it came from, but a statement I've heard said is, you know what, you build or you beg, right? You either build with people, build and come together, or you end up begging those in power,
What you destroy?
right? At, at this point, we either build or starve, and I don't think any of us want to starve. Like usually that's hyperbole. Oh, you exaggerate. No, we're getting dangerously close to build or starve,
Or destroy.
build or die.
Or destroy. That is another option that of humanity is build or destroy. Or bend. Right now we do a lot of bending. Eventually the bending will break. So I guess is either the two options after that is either build or destroy. Looking like destroy might be the option.
It might be. Um, so what an interesting little coinky dink. So one of the first orders of business was pardoning all the January 6th folk, you know, And wow, shortly after being pardoned, looks like let's get the name right. Matthew Huddle, 42 years old, got into an altercation with police and was murked. Found a couple blickies in his car. See, now. Wow, it's funny how that worked out. I don't see that he was involved in marijuana use. I don't see that he had any other charges. All the things they usually do to black people who get in incidents. I didn't see a helicopter say, "Wow, he looks like a really bad dude," from X amount of feet in the air. Hmm. Now, the Malcolm part of me would say this is chicken coming home to roost, but that would be rude. So that would be rude of me. But yeah, got into an altercation. But for once, you know where I'm going. Whenever something like this happens, you ask a question of, wow, I wonder what happens if they were white. Now we know.
Maybe slightly less.
Now, now we know. And I'm like, how do I do this without bias? I'm trying. One, long and short, I'm not happy that you have someone being killed by law enforcement. I want there to be a full investigation. I want to see the body cam footage because I ain't forgot. And one of Trump's promises was pretty much damn near immunity to officers.
Like,
Someone unfortunately is gonna have to test that theory. I hope it's not one of us.
hey,
But I'd love to see the body cam footage stuff, yo.
we got a test. Here it is, right here. We appreciate you.
So the same thing. So the same thing, made odds forever. I guess the odds were not forever in this favor. But so same thing. I want to see the body cam footage. Let me see if this was by the book. Let me see if this is procedural.
Agree?
Because though he was an idiot at some point in life, storming the Capitol. If law enforcement didn't do this properly, they need to be brought up. So I'd like to see what happened there. But what are your uncensored and unfiltered thoughts, sir?
I agree with everything you said. Like I said, chickens are come home to roost. And like I said, in a weird, this is a messed up way to think and say. But if this keeps happening to them, we might actually start seeing some change.
Man,
Diabolical, and I really don't want it to come to that, but we are desperate. So, hey, if we gotta have some few sacrifices, so be it. But no, all jokes aside, regardless of him being an idiot or not, I want to see it, but if it was done by the book. Because if it was some nonsense that the same way they treat us, then yeah, piggies need to go to the slaughterhouse. So yeah, I agree with everything you said. So release that footage. Let's see what happened. And if some foul,
yeah,
then yeah, y'all need to fry. No seasoning.
yeah.
But yeah,
Because don't get me wrong, if it all goes way left, and that's what I said, that's the inherent issue. What I said before, there are way too many people in law enforcement and uniform, way too happy to be on the wrong side of this thing. There are way too many ICE agents, way too happy to go snatch little kids and terrorize them. Make no mistake, terrorize.
they've been doing this. So yeah,
So it's like that's the concern. It's not. I call it the jaywalking principle. I think I've mentioned it before. Look, jaywalking is illegal. You're not supposed to cross the street on the green. No one cares.
yeah,
Who's actually going to enforce that? Nobody.
yeah.
Right? Same principle here, just way more dire consequences. You can say what you want, I'm not running up in a school looking for illegals. But that's me and you. Apparently, there's a lot of folk got no problem at all doing that.
Yeah, we know this already. You see what the climate is. They want them gone. Fine. It's a whole nother difference. They have to run into schools and grab their own people. Now we gonna see if you really with it or not. Let's see if you stand on your nuts then. So yeah,
Salute.
it's easy now because you have a relation. You already want them gone. It's already propaganda. You hate them all. They're the reason why everything's messed up. Cool, whatever. We heard this story before. And when they're gone and you realize everything is worse, now what? Who you gonna blame now?
Like I said, my epiphany. I keep running back to it. I'm gonna keep saying it. Some people will suffer a little, as long as other people suffer a lot. The part they keep missing, you gonna suffer too.
You're still part of
A
it.
lot,
That's
a
the
lot.
you're still the people. You're not the man. You're the people. The man will be good regardless. That's why they don't care. The people
Mhm.
always suffer. So yeah, the whiteness ain't save you from being the people.
Because it's just backward. I gotta realize some people are backward. Like yeah, like we said. Oh man, no balls in the stalls. All the immigrants is gone.
Supposed to have been back.
Yeah, I'll pay $18 a dollar. I'll pay $18 for a dozen of eggs.
No, you won't.
What?
No, you won't.
What?
That's one, that's not what they said, because Trump actually promised that you will lower grocery prices. So if they go up, he just blatantly lied to you. So, so if y'all accept that, then hey, if he just, urinates on you,
Mhm.
that's rain, huh? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely,
Yeah,
absolutely. But
right now because he just pouring right now. But yeah,
like
mm.
I said, willing to suffer a little to make sure others suffer a lot and completely overlook you gonna suffer too. But okay.
Good boy it is.
Oh boy. So that's all the serious stuff we got here. Um, as I mentioned before, you cannot escape the NFL, the juggernaut that it is. Saw highlights of the AFC title game. I- I- So let's run it down. I actually like Patrick Mahomes more than I like Tom Brady, but I do not deny Tom Brady's greatness, right? But I do know a few Chiefs fans personally, and I'm like, I can't even have a discussion with y'all at all because the part of me that actually pays attention, again, I can't escape football whatsoever. How can you sleep at night knowing y'all got a little help on a couple of plays?
Same way the Patriots did.
See, I didn't know any Patriots. I didn't know any Patriots fans. Because I'm trying to think, like, yo, Chiefs fans are just out now in blatant denial. Like, yeah, we're just that good.
Patriots were like they literally got busted for cheating multiple times. Like they can't even deny this because they got busted twice. So yeah, Spygate and Deflategate. So yeah, I mean they're the new Patriots.
I'm just
That'd be-
so it's just like they might be the first team to get three straight. That's a huge, huge deal. As a former 49er fan that seen them repeat and thought they were gonna get three straight, I see how that's a huge, huge deal. But asterisk, like dog,
You put an asterisk for Brady. If you don't, then you can't asterisk him.
why? Well, hold on, time. Why are we asterisking Brady again?
Cheating, the tuck
What?
rule, the refs. Like every, what more do you want?
Oh, okay, all right. I mean, I'll give you the tuck rule. I'll give you the tuck rule. That was
You're
that
not
was
gonna
a
give me
bad
the
one.
actual cheating that they got caught for?
Bro, if I'm again, I didn't play the game. I'm just saying, if a team videotapes your practice, is it that bad?
You know my,
I-
you know how easy it is. Like I said, I didn't play at high level. Most I played was high school. But you know how easy it would be to play the game if you know exactly what they're running to their team. You know how easy that would be.
I'm just thinking on top of everything you need to know defensively.
Plus, the
Now
refs
you
weren't
also
even
got to,
giving Brady. Bro, you can't touch Brady. You touch him, they will throw in the flag. Just like Mahomes. It's the same thing. All the little stuff you see the refs do, moving the ball, and calling this and not calling that. They did the same for the Patriots. The exact same stuff.
because I do
Got
know
worse.
the Chiefs got awarded a catch that shouldn't have been a catch. Balls on the ground. And the Bills got a horrible spot on a fourth down that should have been a first down. And I'm like, you can't beat a team and the refs. You just can't.
You do this. They're the new Patriots. This is nothing. They're going to three-peat. It's going to happen. And then after that, they're probably gonna be in the shadow round because they
It's
probably
stupid, yo. Nah, I just
they're not. They're probably
again
one more words.
from the highlights, Saquon is a problem. So good luck with that.
It's gonna be close, but like I said, can't beat the rest.
Well,
Um,
you can't, and that's something somebody said on. I was watching First Take. The only way Josh Allen or Lamar Jackson or anybody beats them,
it's Joe
you
Burrow.
gotta blow them. You gotta blow them out.
The only person that can beat Mahomes in the playoffs is Joe Burrow or Tom Brady because those are the only two people to beat him.
Yeah, you gotta blow them out. You gotta be up to like 14-21 in the fourth quarter. Because other than that, you leaving that referee door open.
So, friend, I said, yo, if the Bills do not blow them out and it's a close game, they are losing 100%. And for that,
Whatever.
I said the same. I said it's in the script. The Chiefs will go to the Super Bowl. If it's a close game, it is in the script. This is not. This is history. They want to make him to do Tom Brady. Cool. That's why I said you gotta blow him up. You gotta blow him up. Yeah, or you gotta injure him. One or two. Not gonna do
I
that.
mean, it's I don't know. I don't want to think shit is scripted, but it's like, wow, yo, like
Oh,
I
shit.
didn't realize there was somebody again. Watch, I think Stephen A. Smith said it. If they win, seven by Brady was untouchable. Like there's no way. But if they win,
That
that's
four
four.
already, and he's still young. He's still in his
You're
20s.
not even 30.
He's still in his 20s. His late 20s.
Somebody did put up make a good point though. They don't think Andy Reid and the coordinator is going to stick around that long. So I'm
Nah,
like, okay, that'll do it.
he might have a 3 year, and he might have another 2, 3 years. But
Yeah, so it's like that'll be the thing that stops the run. But yeah, the only thing you can do with the Chiefs, you gotta blow them out in the playoffs. You gotta be up by 21. That's that because if it's anything closer than that,
that
suddenly
might
a
not
catch
see.
that's not a catch.
That might not even see because they came back from down 21-20, like their first Super Bowl run, I think, or whatever. But yeah,
Mm.
so yeah, they made a lot of sacrifices. We saw that found the blood. So yeah, somebody check
But
on orphanages, all that. So yeah.
yeah, but yeah, I was gonna mention number two team in the nation, Duke, Cooper Flat killed it. LeBron, and actually wasn't even LeBron. AD is finally playing like he the man now. Finally. Finally. Had a double, had 20 and 10 in the first half. Yo, against Charlotte, AD is balling out of control.
Charlotte.
Uh,
I don't care.
my concern is they're good, they're just good enough to not have to be in the play-in, but they don't. And
Well,
Houston is better than I thought. I thought they were paper. Two teams, Houston and Cleveland. I thought they're like, yeah, you're just off to a hot start. But no, Cleveland looks dangerous, which is something we haven't said since LeBron left. And Houston looks like they might be legit. Didn't see that coming. Oh, I meant to bring to your attention that Russ and Jokic combination seems to be working out now. So yeah, Western Conference. As a Laker fan, I'm just not. Kawhi's back, which is always a good sign. Kawhi is back. Actually, been playing well. Um, Zion is back. I'm curious to see where Jimmy Butler gets traded, and he's got to get traded because this is effing up. As much as they don't want it to, honestly, this is effing up Pat Riley's legacy. Like, dude, you don't have to see who's got the bigger set of nuts here. Just trade, bro. You don't want to be there and let it be.
nope.
he gets traded. It's a matter. I don't think he gets traded. The problem is he wants to go to Phoenix. I don't think it's gonna happen because
Yeah,
the only way that happens is if Bradley Beal waives no trade clause, and there's no good reason to do that. Although you see, I'm not in his head. I do it. Like you got KD, you got Booker, then there's you. Like yo, you go to Miami and you the man.
no, he's not the man. But
How would he not be the man?
I'm not answering that.
Tyler Hero? No. Bam? No.
Tyler Hero and Bam are better than him. He would not be the man. Stop it.
Better than Bradley Beal.
Not Bradley Bill 3, 4 years ago. This is a new Bradley Bill. He's not that guy though. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think the Godfather is probably going to send him to the Shadow Realm too for a bag of crispy nuggets and some French fries because he ain't getting jack squat for him now.
Butler in Minnesota could be interesting though. Butler in Minnesota would be interesting. I don't know what you give up to get him, but Butler in Minnesota would be interesting because you got, yeah, if you as long as you can keep Gobert, that Butler and Gobert combination, and you got well, you
That's
probably got to give up
disgusting.
Randall.
That is a disgusting combination, and not in a good way. But
You,
that's disgusting.
it depends on who you give up.
Yeah,
That's the problem. It depends on who you give up because
yeah.
if you give up Randall and DiVincenzo, I'd do it.
Mm.
Like, you know what? Y'all just go ahead back to Miami, go back to the East Coast, Randall DiVincenzo, but you get Butler. Now you got Butler and you got Ant-Man, and then you still got the French anchor in the middle.
Disgusting.
You still got Conley. Like, yo, that could be a scary combination.
No, but we'll find out where he goes. I highly doubt he goes to Phoenix unless Bradley Bill's willing to play well. That's the only way he gets there.
I mean, I don't if I'm Bill, I'd do it. Like, why be there? Because for as loaded, quote unquote, as Phoenix should be, they don't look like a championship team either.
If they're not,
You know, Patches or Kevin Durant is but Patches, he still looks good, but everybody's prone to get hurt. Like, I just think you got a better shot of making the conference finals if you go to Miami. Because Philly sucks. I didn't see that coming, but Philly sucking ass. Um,
yeah, but you're not beating Boston or Cleveland
no, that's it. The conference. I said
or the
I'm
Bucks.
sorry. They'll make the conference finals.
Who?
Miami. If they switch, if Bale goes there, they'll make the conference finals. They ain't going to the finals. Finals.
You would have to see Cleveland or Boston before you get there in the second round, if you even make it out of the first round. Let alone the Bucks. Like they're not beating those three teams.
Yeah, the Bucks actually look. Careful with the Bucks. As long as Doc Rivers is the coach, anything is possible.
It's more of if Giannis actually plays in his postseason, they'll be fine.
Yeah, he put somebody on a poster yesterday. Good lord, he still got to do
So yeah,
it.
if Giannis is healthy, their big guns are healthy, they'll be good. Miami's not touching.
All right. Like I said, if I'm Bradley Bill, I'll make the move because you ain't gonna get you. At least, you might sniff the conference might sniff the conference finals in the East. You're not sniffing the conference finals in the West. Sorry, I just no.
I'm gonna make the playoffs.
Ooh,
They're out the
nah,
play. I think
you know, uh, I haven't looked at the standings lately, but I'm like, where is Phoenix? I think Phoenix is what, seventh right now, something like that.
you sure about that?
But
I mean, I don't know. Last time I seen they was out there playing, but if they've been winning, either way, they're a playing team right now.
yeah, and the plane is gonna be filthy this year because again, if Kawhi stays healthy. And I'm not sure where. Well, that's the other thing that no one's talking about. I don't know if Zion's going to get traded. That might have run his course. Maybe he just don't want to be in New Orleans no more. I always had questions on if he actually wanted to be in New Orleans or was he just saying the right things.
He don't want to be in the North, but yeah, he's probably definitely in trade. I don't know if it'll be this year. It might be next year or the all season.
I'm trying to think. Who got the worst food? Send him to Cleveland. Send him to Cleveland. They don't good food in Cleveland. But he can't go to Cleveland. Like, who's got sucky food? So this cat ain't sitting there eating po' boys. Uh, but Zion is still a problem. Zion's still a problem. As a Duke fan, I love seeing that Zion's still a problem. BI is still a problem. Obviously, Tatum is an issue. Cooper Flag is that dude. Like, yeah, and we're all watching you, Shire. We're all watching. We're all watching. But anywho, let's recap and run it back. Starting from the top, it's just I don't know, everyone. It's a mess here from pulling funding for Head Start to Elon deniers and just, it's a mess, and we're only a weekend. It's a mess. Um, while I don't know what level of concern I have about the 14th Amendment being yanked. I do know it's going to happen as a set. It's good if they pull the third 14th. I am fairly sure it'll be with the 13th as well, because that's the only way you're going to avoid absolute bedlam. There are absolutely some black social media platforms to check out. You do not have to be beholden to Meta and Twitter. Now, if you have accounts that generate revenue there, okay, I can see that can be an issue. But hey, in the same way that you have Meta and Twitter platforms, you can add one of these as well. Talking to our folk, and I'm also talking to anybody who wants to get off the main platforms, before they get infiltrated further. And yeah, I can't believe teachers are inviting ICE to their schools and traumatizing kids. That is absolutely obscene and insane and absurd. Um, when you're a January 6th rider and get pardoned and then get murked shortly thereafter, gosh, all I got is a Malcolm quote. Them chickens, boy, them chickens. One thing they gonna do, one thing them chickens gonna do is come home to roost. And yeah, that's all I got, man. That's all I got. Go Lakers, go Duke. And we'll see if the refs get that three-peat. But your recap, sir.
Uh, yeah, Trump and his BS. Yeah, uh, Elon and networks censoring it. Nothing new. And yeah, they took off the knee pad, so that's rug burn. Uh, Black owned platforms support it. Get off it. The meta stuff. Yeah. We can talk about that. Uh, Texas teachers being some suckers. What's new? I never liked teachers anyway, so they just reinforce my hatred. Nah, I'm glad I like teachers. Some of them though. Ice reads. Yeah, it's getting real familiar. The parallels. You can't stop it now. From the salute to people snitching on their neighbors and students. I didn't think this would happen all this. Side note, I didn't think everything would happen this fast. I thought he would ease his way into it, but nah, he said the second he sat down, I swear he signed like 50 of them. That's gotta be a record. It's a joke that's not a joke, but damn, he moving fast, which is kind of concerning because we got a bare minimum 2 years of this ish, but four total. So let's see if we make it to two. And then the January 6th getting merch. That sounds like poetic justice. Nah, I'm joking. But I want to see if it was done by the book. If it was done by the book, poetic justice. If it wasn't, I can't rock with it. No matter how because I always will hate a certain group more than just stupid people.
Mhm.
Stupid people are stupid people, but pigs are pigs. They will stay that way for all the existence and eternity. So yeah.
We've gone a while without having to use the P word, but yeah.
Shouldn't say that. All right. Um,
No, totally. No, 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 no. That we ain't got to change at all.
all right, I'm just gonna say Porky then. So yeah. Shout out to pork rinds, man. Shout out to pork.
Oinky, 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 oinky.
Okay. Cock-a-doodle-doo. All right, I'm back. I think that was it. Shout out to Lakers, even though we still suck.
And on that note, on behalf of myself and my amazing co-hosts who are still free,
Or
speaking with our full capabilities till they want us in correctional facilities.
listen,
From the Get I Said It podcast. See you next week. Peace.
that